are now listening to The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys. The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys is a John Mitchell story and is brought to you by Cine Downloads. Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Previously on the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys...
I've come to see you, my love.
We want you to join our shrine, Cock. And if you don't, then Taipan will tell Yinghua all about your time in Thailand.
You dirty bastard! I can't stay here. I'm going to the shrine.
My place is with you.
Now the next part of the story. Episode 24. The march is scheduled to begin tomorrow afternoon. The Chief Exec, grabbed by frantic anxiety, has phoned the council rep 15 times today, asking for progress reports on the rep's demon allies and their plans to sabotage the march. In response, the council rep, gripped by bombastic self-regard, has phoned Efuhofcn 15 times, demanding these progress reports immediately.
I'm the mayor.
Efuhofcn's toady has 15 times answered these calls, received an earache from the rep, and hastily promised to pass the message on to Efuhofcn, who has 15 times in a row flicked snot at the toady, then ignored him. Knowing that time is running out, the council rep decides that he should tone down his arrogant grandstanding and perhaps try a more tactful stance to get Efuhofcn to engage with him. So, forcing himself to be polite and respectful, he asks the toady if he can please persuade Efuhofcn to come speak with him. The toady tells Efuhofcn that the rep is now asking in a nice and pleasant manner, and Efuhofcn, realizing that he has run out of snot, decides that he may as well see what the whining, annoying human wants to talk about. A relieved and snot-covered toady hands over the phone to Efuhofcn. When he realizes that the big demon is now on the phone, the rep's attitude changes abruptly.
I told you not to attack the temple. What the hell are you doing? We need you to hit the march and sabotage it before it begins.
This march is the least of my concern. We have been attacked by a new force of warriors. Mysterious ones we have not seen before. The temple was as weak as we had expected, but these new warriors were far more formidable. They were dangerous and forced my demons to retreat. These warriors are a threat to my plans, and my focus will be upon them.
Listen to me, Efo, you slam-dwelling bog twat. Your problem's there. Like warriors beating you up, power struggles for the support of demon kind, and even a complete lack of creamy exfoliant to make your skin silky soft do not matter to us. That march happens tomorrow, and you will focus 100% on that. After you've smashed the march, go back to all your other stupid, random crap issues, but that march must be stopped at all cost. This deal with me, you and Satan is riding on this.
My demon warriors were defeated and ran. They have lost confidence. Asking them to launch an attack against larger numbers may not be wise.
I couldn't give a crap about your warriors. I thought you were all evil demon monsters from hell. You sound more like a bunch of schoolgirls. Attack that march tomorrow, or when I speak to Satan, I will tell him that you willfully decided to go against me. You willfully decided to work against his servants on earth. By betraying us, you betrayed Satan himself. How do you think that will look on your CV?
Efuhofcn growls. He is growing tired with this rep and his blackmail over Satan. He carefully considers his situation. He couldn't really care less about the march. It bores him. His own ambitions are far more important. He cannot waste time, but the rep keeps dangling this Satan thing over him, and as much as it pains him, he needs that opportunity to have a discourse with the Prince of Darkness. So he'll play ball for a while, and do as the infuriating, nagging human commands. But once the task is complete, he will come looking for payment from the human. He wants this audience with Satan, and if it doesn't happen quickly, he will pop the human's head like a watermelon.
Very well. I shall rally my demon army and assault the march.
Good. About time too.
The council rep ends the call abruptly, and this rudeness enrages Efuhofcn. The reporter is sitting inside his favourite toilet cubicle. It's the one with the least amount of snot and bogies collected on the walls. He has agonized for days about the Illuminati's offer. It promises so much, but threatens to take away everything he's pinned his future on. But then, if he refuses, he won't have a future at all, so it'll all be wasted anyway. He knows that he has no choice, really. He has to give up the chance to be the best reporter in the world with the greatest story ever encountered, and just become another boring nobody on the telly. How could he live like that? What about his awesome journalistic skills? Chances are that he'll never get a chance to show them. The television news is so constrained with so many rules. He'll always be mediocre. No more Reporter of the Year awards for me, he thinks morosely. He's so absorbed in his thinking that he doesn't notice the gentle splashing in the piss lake as footsteps gingerly tiptoe through it. The door to his cubicle wasn't locked and is slowly pushed open by a bony hand. The creak of the door rouses him, and he looks up to see that this hand belongs to one of the Illuminati. The door is fully pushed open now, and he can see both of the red-robed giants towering over him. Their features are hidden beneath their heavy hoods, but the sound of their rasping breath is present. The one on the left raises a bony finger and points at him.
The omens are favourable in that you have made the right choice in your decision. We witnessed 3 crows flying backward, a lamb born with a red fleece, and a 2-headed chicken being found in Wolverhampton. Tell us your decision on our offer.
The reporter trembles as he answers.
I'm still not sure.
The answer causes the Illuminati to start arguing amongst themselves.
I told you that chicken thing was a bad omen, not a good one.
No, you didn't. In fact, you pointed it out in the book, Omens and Demonology for Kids. It was your idea entirely.
Oh, you're a liar. I said we should include the worm eating itself in Scunthorpe, but you said no.
Then what about the blind owl falling off a lamppost? I seem to remember you saying we shouldn't include that one.
Oh, how dare you.
Guys!
Interrupts the reporter. The 2 looming Illuminati fall into silence and loom over him further.
Yes, of course. Back to business. Terribly sorry. Now we see that you haven't said yes, nor have you said no, so the agreement is still in the air.
Indeed it is. And we have something which may entice you further to our offer. A little bit of razzle-dazzle, as they say.
Yes, a dazzling razzmatazz-vajazzle.
Jazzle. Oh, no, not of the jazzle. That's gross. What are you thinking?
Left Illuminati looks disgusted.
Yes, of course. So sorry.
Right Illuminati replies sheepishly.
Now, where were we? Ah, yes. We told you last time of our need to have this cover-up kept covered up. Naturally, this hasn't changed. In fact, upon reflection, it came to us that if the impossible were to happen, and this preposterous march did in fact succeed,
Which it won't,
indeed, then we would need someone reliable in the hot seat on the news network to ensure the continuation of the cover-up.
The reporter thinks for a moment about this, then replies,
I thought that you already had every base covered in this cover-up. All the news teams and networks are in your pockets.
Yes, to some extent they all are. However, people who have not been exposed to us directly, like you have an annoying tendency to question the directives handed down to them from above.
There is currently someone in one of these hot seats who has been asking some uncomfortable questions of late, which has led to us believing that she will not be able to provide the cover we would need if it so arose.
She?
Asks the reporter, his curiosity piqued.
Yes, a woman by the name of Tiffany Towers. You know of her, I presume?
The reporter's eyes go wide as he hears the name of his most hated enemy.
Oh yes, I know of her.
A darkness descends over his face as he remembers her.
So she's finally asking some questions and being a proper journalist, rather than just being some tits on the telly then?
Absolutely. When she visited this Temple of the Monkey Flyers or something, she overheard conversations where the staff were training to fight and control demons. Naturally, the journalist side of her was alerted to the fact that they were demons, and not refugees like she reported in the official line. She wanted to know what was going on.
And her questions and probing got quite difficult. I'm normally all for a good probing, but this kind was not work.
Well, probing was most unwanted, and it still continues. Despite subtle hints and managerial pressure designed to make her stick to the arranged story, she still insists on being awkward. Therefore, we have decided that it is time to remove her and look for an appropriate replacement, someone who understands the situation firsthand, so there will be no more misunderstandings.
That person is you. Would you like her job? It's very well paid. You'd have your own makeup artist.
What would happen to Tiffany Towers?
Asks the reporter.
What would you like to see happen to her?
I want to see her ruined. Cleaning toilets like I was.
Well, we can block her from getting a media job in the future. In fact, we'd block her from any job that pays over $40,000 a year salary. She'd have to slum it with the place.
She'd be a poor person, forced to rummage through the bins for leftovers at McDonald's.
I like the sound of that.
The reporter rubs his hands together.
She'll have to sell her bumhole to crackheads in a gutter whilst their Staffordshire Terriers are tied to a lamppost nearby.
Oh, okay, let's not over-dramatise.
Interjects the other Illuminati.
But don't forget, if we were to take this opportunity, we would be bound to report whatever stories we wanted. Forget the truth, fiction is more important from now on for you. Are you able to report made-up, la-di-da nonsense that we create? I understand that you have morals and see yourself as a beacon of truth.
Yes, a lighthouse of truth in a sea of raging bullshit.
Adds the left Illuminati. The reporter considers this for a moment, then lifts his head to speak.
If it means I regain my rightful place at a news desk and Tiffany fucking Towers is left with the peasants, then yes. I'll report all your ridiculous stories, no matter how mad.
This pleases the Illuminati immensely, and they slap each other on the back and shake hands with the reporter.
Well then, all that remains is for us to concoct a story which we can use if the march goes ahead.
Which it won't.
Adds the left Illuminati.
Yes, indeed, it won't. Good point. So we'll need a scapegoat for when people see there are no refugees, but they are in fact a horde of demons from hell.
That will take some explaining,
said the reporter wryly. They ignore him and carry on with the discussion.
So who would have been involved with the cover-up? I guess it would be the whole of the council executive board and the higher echelons of the police, such as the commissioner. Should we scapegoat the whole lot?
Risky. We may need their help in the future. Let's not burn all of our bridges.
Quite so. Then we'll limit the scapegoating to one person, which would have to be the Chief Executive.
Yes, absolutely. He forced the others to keep quiet as he told the government that the demons were refugees so he could embezzle money from them for refugee support.
A lovely story. He cons the government out of millions by providing a cover-up of the demons as a refugee crisis.
We would need evidence that money changed hands secretly.
Well, don't forget that there was a city council slush fund which recently lost £550,000, according to our trusted sources.
Excellent. so we have an actual crime to back up our wild story. He would do a lot of time inside prison for this, so we'd have to make him disappear, of course. We couldn't have him blabbing the truth in court.
We'll take him away and tell people that he's on the run in Brazil with the money from the slush fund. No one would think we had him.
Ah, so simple. It's almost poetic.
Indeed, everything has just fallen into place. So, Mr. Reporter, if the impossible happens, then that is quite likely that this would be the story you will be presenting on your news reports. Obviously, it will be edited to sound even better. But are you okay with reporting that?
The reporter's been listening open-mouthed as these two odd fellows in a toilet just concocted a conspiracy in less than 1 minute, which would be sold to the entire world as empirical fact. Everyone from the very top right down to the bottom would follow the narrative, and apart from a few nutters on the internet, no one would even question it. He realizes that the truth stands absolutely no chance. They're waiting for an answer.
Yeah, that will be fine. When do I start my new job then?
After the second failed attack in the Demon Zone, legal claims started to come in from recruits who were injured in these battles. Many suffered concussions, lacerations, and broken bones, not to mention stress, mental anguish, and impaired performance in bed. The claims formed a pile 3 inches high, and Steve sits in a chair stunned. He wonders how the hell this happened. The potential cost in damages for all these claims runs close to £1 million. And Steve decides there's no way he'll be paying for that. He calls over Zing and asks him for his reports into the injured people. Zing runs off and soon returns with a thick wedge of paper. These reports were made when the recruits returned from their attacks and listened to what happened to each of them. Steve takes the first claimant's paperwork from the top of the pile and looks through it. He turns to Zing.
So Zing, this guy Efuhofcn says he was attacked by 3 monsters who broke his nose, bruised his face and body, and then he suffered whiplash after being pushed into a shopping trolley at speed. Look for your reports for this guy and tell me he was wearing his PPE.
Zing does as he's told and searches through the paperwork. After some minutes, he finds the right one and reads through it.
Steve, Iqbal said at the time that as the monsters came at him, he threw his PPE away so he'd be less visible and could escape into the darkness. A high visibility jacket with reflected strips would attract the monsters, he said.
Aha, so he wasn't wearing his correct PPE. If he wasn't wearing his PPE, he wasn't insured, or even following company rules, and therefore it's not our problem. And Iqbal can go fuck himself. Contact our legal team and tell them we plan to sue Iqbal for bringing our illustrious company name into disrepute. Then go through this list of claimants and see which others were not wearing the correct PPE at the time. They almost got killed. We will sue them too.
Yes, Steve, I'll get on it right away,
says Zing happily. Steve now gets up and walks over to speak to Cheng, who is quietly doing some Tai Chi. Steve coughs to get his attention, and Cheng looks over.
Hey, Chengi, I've got claims from these recruits coming out of my ears. It's almost £1 million in damages. How the hell did you let that happen?
Cheng takes a deep breath to calm himself before replying.
I believe that it was your decision to send them out with only a day or so training. Lambs to the slaughter, they call it.
Don't try and pin this on me, Changi Chango. You're the one who is in charge of this temple. The responsibility for all of this is on your head, not mine. If anyone's going to lose their job or face prison time, then it's going to be you.
Cheng looks at him incredulously.
But don't you worry, my little bearded noodle fondler. I'll get this situation sorted out and get you off the hook. Steve will save the day as normal. I've already got Zing to approach the legal team with instructions, and we'll get this under control. I've got your back, pal. Never forget that.
Cheng looks at him with an open mouth.
Okay, Changi, let's assess the situation that's left. How many recruits do we have?
Well, Steve, we currently have 35 staff on our books, but 30 of them are off work, long-term injured, due to work-related injuries.
Right, okay. I want you to contact each of the injured staff and sack them.
Sack them?
Yeah, sack them, fire them, whatever. Just get rid of them. If they can't be bothered coming into work, then we don't want them here. We need people who are team players, not people saying, "Oh, my leg's broken, oh, my leg hurts, so I have to stay in bed. Ooh, so sorry."
Very well. I shall contact each of them later with the bad news.
Good. Now who is left?
We have the 3 Goths.
Steve nods as he remembers them.
I saw them carrying injuries from the battles. Why didn't they put in claims like every other money-grabbing thief in here?
Their wounds were self-inflicted.
Steve looks at him curiously.
They haven't given a real explanation for it, but I heard a rumour that they were high on drugs, heroin, ketamine, and LSD. So that maybe that's why they hit each other with shovels.
That's fair enough. Who else is left?
That word DJ guy. Buckmaster Swank, or something he calls himself. He usually avoids fighting with the demons, and often endangers the whole team with his selfishness.
These 4 are the best staff we have. They are team players, Chings, and I want to reward their attitude by having them involved in all the planning that you guys do from now on. I think they will have a lot to offer.
That worries Cheng.
Steve, we have come to the conclusion that there is a spy at work in the temple, and these 4 guys are some of the suspects we're looking for. It would be wrong to have them involved in planning.
Nonsense. I know team players when I see them, and these guys are real team players. The spy must be someone else. Who is left?
There was one other recruit, but he has now left us. He was the guy who called himself the plumber, and he has now got a job on the TV as a reporter.
So he wasn't a plumber at all then? He was actually a reporter?
No, he said he was a plumber, and he looked after the toilets for us.
Cheng, I went into those toilets earlier and almost drowned in piss. It's like wading back into medieval times with people throwing shit in the streets. That guy was no plumber. If he's on the TV as a reporter, he was obviously here, undercover, reporting everything to everybody. That guy was your spy, Chengo, not the other 4.
Well, yes, that might be true. But the spy was informing the demons about us, not the news networks.
Obviously he was informing the demons, as he knew having a big smash-up battle would be a great story to report. Chung, am I the only one with a brain here?
Cheng doesn't reply but looks embarrassed.
So Chongo, where's that prick cock Wang and that hot piece of ass Yingaling?
You mean Yinhua, my daughter?
Answers Cheng in annoyance.
She's your daughter? Wow. So where are they?
Sadness envelops Cheng as he thinks how to answer this question.
They have both left to join the shrine of the flying attack dragons.
Steve looks blank.
The shrine are our most fierce rivals. You met some of their team when you had that meeting with the council for the contract some time ago.
Steve looks blank.
All I remember is some guys punching planks of wood.
Cheng nods enthusiastically.
What? A bunch of random wood punchers are our biggest rivals? Holy shit, no wonder we got the contract. So why did Cock and Ying leave us to go punch wood with those monks?
I think there is more to the shrine than just punching wood, and their methods and resources were enough to seduce Cock into moving over. Then from what I understand, Yin went with him as she loves him.
Damn, that's a tough break for you, pal. But I told you from day one that Cock Wang was not a team player, and you couldn't trust him. So it's kinda your fault for not listening to me.
Cheng doesn't say anything, just looks sad.
Yeah, but good news. I see that Zing kid is still here.
Cheng looks over to see what Steve is looking at and sees Zing in the background with his clipboard. He's writing a long report about an empty crisp packet that has been left on the floor.
Yes, Zing is still with us, but he is not the same Zing as he was before.
That's right, he's better. I'm turning him into management material. He'll be your boss one day, Cheng.
Cheng is horrified to hear this. Steve turns back to face Cheng.
Look, Cheng, from what you've told me, it sounds like this temple is pretty much fucked. For the time being, at least. And I really don't want any more people putting claims in. The council's chief executive will try and get hold of me. He will want one last almighty attack on the demons to disrupt the march tomorrow. But obviously we haven't got any staff left to do that. So I'm turning my phone off. And when he calls here, tell him I'm in bed with the flu.
Cheng nods and is happy that for once Steve hasn't ordered another suicide mission. This episode was brought to you by Cine Downloads, narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Today's episode featured Adam Deacon as the council rep, George Wilson as Steve the manager, Nicholas Vince as Efuhofcn the demon, Wai Wong as Master Cheng Fu, Trevor Neal and Simon Hickson as the two Illuminati. Other voices provided by Chris Hero as Zing T, Lee Norton. Written, produced, edited and directed by John Mitchell. Co-produced by Chris Hero. Sound recorded by Louis Thomsen, Chris Hero. Sound engineer Andrew Doc Collins. Theme tune by Ged Grey. Thank you for listening, and watch out for the next episode of the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.